So my name is Dr. Linda West, and I'm the Programme Coordinator for the Academic Support Programme led by the University of the Sunshine Coast. So I'll be the MC for this event today, but I have my colleagues here with me too. So first of all, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands on which we all meet across the world today and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. So we have a nice little crowd of people here today, and I hope you've all got lots of questions for our group today. So I'd like to hand over first of all to Mr. Josevata Thava from the University of the South Pacific. He is the ACR graduate officer, and he is a font of knowledge on everything USP. So Joe, do you want to introduce yourself?
Thank you, Dr. Linda. Sorry, can you all hear me?
Yes, Joe.
All right, cool. That's so kind of you, Dr. Linda. Thank you so much for the introduction. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Josevata Thava. I'm the ACR graduate officer at Space State Research Office at USP Lua Valley campus. I look after the ACR scholarship that's being sponsored by ACR here at the University of the South Pacific. And we have two campuses mainly that host the students. One is here, that's in Lua Valley campus. The other one is in Samoa. Well, basically our scholarship for us here at USP, we do offer scholarships for both masters and PhD students. And we give priorities as well we have a very focused priority in soils at the moment. And we have our current student consists of 10 masters and 4 PhDs. And for those of you that are interested, one of the criteria would be for you to let us know whether you want to apply for the scholarship or not, and then we would let you know whether you're eligible based on several criteria, one of which is your GPA. That's all from my end, Dr. Linda.
Thank you very much, Joe. We also have Dr. Archibald Bakari from Fiji National University, and he is the HDR coordinator. Is that right, Archibald? From Fiji National University. Archie, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, yeah, right. I'm Archibald, and I'm the postgraduate coordinator for the ACR scholarship at FNU. And I'm also stationed at Cornevia campus, which is in Cornevia. And at FNU, we have got different fields or areas of specialty that we are offering to students. That is climate change, soil science, and also forest and also livestock systems. So if you've got any questions regarding to our programs, that is, we've got 2 programs. We've got high degrees by research and also we have coursework. So if you've got questions for our programs, I'm here to answer your questions.
Thank you, Archie. We do actually have a little presentation. Lisa, do you want to share? Thank you. So, as I said, my name is Linda West, and I'm the Programme Coordinator for the Academic Support Programme. Because although this is a scholarship programme, it's not just a scholarship programme. There are also lots of other initiatives and activities aligned with the programme led by the University of the Sunshine Coast in Australia. So when a scholar is enrolled in the programme, they are also become a member of the Australian Centre for Pacific Islands Research here at the University of the Sunshine Coast. And we have lots of activities aligned with that centre. We have a seminar series once a month where we invite a researcher who's working in the Pacific or a Pacific Islander themselves to present once a month to all members of the centre. And we also have research skills development workshops. And yesterday we had a fantastic skills session where we had someone talking about presentation skills. So these range from presentation skills to academic writing, how to get published, how to write your literature review, all sorts of things. And those seminars are led by what the members want to receive in those skill sessions. They're an informal Zoom opportunity, so anybody can join, anybody who's a member of the centre. Students who are enrolled at both USP and FNU in the ACR program also have access to the USC or the UniSC library. Not just access to the databases, but also to the training sessions that are run by the liaison librarians at UniSC, who are very helpful and will guide you through how to do a search of the databases at the library, and also how to do your systematic literature review or copyright or anything like that. There are lots of resources through the liaison librarians. One of the really good initiatives led by University of the Sunshine Coast is the Job Ready programme. So the scholarship also comes with a short work placement at an organisation that scholars can nominate themselves. So if you wanted to do a short work experience program of between 2 to 4 weeks with an organisation in Fiji or in Samoa, then you can nominate to do that, and our coordinator in Fiji would assist you with that process of requesting that placement with the organisation of your choice. This has been a fantastic success, and all scholars in the programme at the moment have said that they are willing to participate in this work experience programme, and many of our scholars have completed successful placements already. Students also have access to the Pacific Agriculture Information System, led by one of the academic support team members, which gives you access to lots of other literature which is not always available in library databases. We also have this initiative called the Oceania Buddy Programme, where scholars in the ACR programme can be linked to a buddy in the Australian higher education programme who's at a similar level that they are, perhaps doing a PhD or a master's in a similar field. And that just builds those peer-to-peer networks. And obviously we have coordinators here on the ground, the PASS team or the academic support team at the University of the Sunshine Coast and the University of Southern Queensland are here to help scholars through their research journey. We join meetings and work with Joe and Dr. Bakare to assist scholars in the programme. The next slide has a few little photographs, Lisa, of workshops that we held earlier this year. Obviously, the first year of this programme was all conducted on Zoom, so it was lovely for us all to get together for the first time, actually, at the beginning of this year. So going on to the application process, the first step that you have to do is to check that you are eligible in terms of your GPA or which country you're from. And the way that you do that is to speak or to email either Joe Savata or Dr. Bakare, depending on which university you're interested in. And the contact details are available on the websites for both of those universities and also on the ACR website and the PASS CR programme website. The next thing you do is to identify a research topic from the approved list that is also available on those websites, and to contact the supervisor who is nominated on that list, and also the Australian co-supervisor, who is often the ACR research program leader, research project leader, to discuss the potential topic that you have in mind. And the next bigger thing to do is to start to develop your research proposal. So there is a research intent template, which is part of the application process, and that's also available on all those websites. But we are having a research proposal training session on the 23rd of August, which will be led by Dr. Danny Medina Hidalgo, who is here in the Zoom if you have a question about that session. You use the research intent form to develop your proposal, but obviously in consultation with your nominated supervisors, and seek their approval to submit that research intent together with your application. The application forms are also available on the websites for FNU and USP, and you need to complete that application form with all your personal details and details about your academic transcripts, your academic qualifications, perhaps your work experience or your industry experience, and all the required documents, including transcripts, your resume, and letters of support or reference letters. So there's a frequently asked question document on the USP and FNU website as well, if your question isn't answered in this session and you'd like to look up to see if it's one of the frequently asked questions. And then you'll submit your application to either Joe Savata or Dr. Bakare, depending on which university you're applying to. And then the selection process, it will go in front of a panel at either university, and by the end of November, beginning of December, we should have the results of that selection process. So the next slide shows and has some links to the key forms and information. The application form is different between USP and FNU, depending on which qualification you're applying for. The project and research topic list includes details of the topics that are available at both USP and FNU and who to contact if you want to start that initial conversation. We also had a couple of weeks ago a research project showcase where project leaders who've nominated research topics did a short presentation, 5 or 10 minute presentation about the projects and the topics that are available. And that recording is available on the website too, and the frequently asked question document. The next slide has some details about where to get information. The FNU website, the USP website, obviously ACR as the funder, and the PASCR program website, which also has details of current scholars in the program, if you want to have a look and see who our lovely scholars are at the moment. And as I said, we have an upcoming Zoom session on research proposal training, and the link to register is on this slide. And we'll share this presentation with anybody who wants to have that information to hand. So I think the main purpose of this session, as it is the second Zoom Q&A, is that we have as much time as possible, not just to hear from me, but obviously to hear from interested parties on any questions that you have for either USP or FNU, or indeed for the academic support team here at UniSC. So I'm not sure if there are any questions in the chat. No, I don't think so. But if anybody wants to put their hand up or unmute themselves and ask a question that hasn't been answered yet, then please feel free to do so. This is your opportunity. Thank you. Thank you, Hannah. So Hannah's just sending the link to the replay of the showcase.
Hello, Dr. Linda.
Hello?
It's me, Asanava. Can you hear me properly?
Yes, you're very quiet, Asanava. Can you speak up a little bit?
Asanava.
That's better. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Linda, and good morning, everyone. I just have a question. I'm a current student here at the University of Southern Queensland.
Okay.
In the Toowoomba. I've completed my Bachelor in Science program last year, and currently I'm doing my honors research.
You're doing your honors, did you say? Sorry?
Yeah, I'm doing my honors research.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to inquire because right now on my study, I'm under the AusAid scholarship here. So I need to come back to Fiji for my bond to work in Fiji.
Okay.
After that, am I eligible to apply for this ACR program? Currently, my project is based on modeling the impact of climate change on taro and cassava in Fiji.
And Asenav, are you from Fiji?
I'm originally from Fiji, yeah.
Hey, I think I'll pass that over to either Joe or Dr. Bakari to verify. But as far as I'm concerned, I think so.
Myself, I think you are eligible to apply for the scholarship, but priority will be given to those people to those candidates who have finished their degrees. Because you're saying you're still doing your honors degree.
I'll be completing it this year, November.
Yeah, but priority will be given to those who have already finished.
Okay, sir.
But we have had situations, sorry, Joe, I'll let you answer in a second, where we've had students who are in the final semester of a program and they can submit an application pending the results of that final semester.
Okay.
Joe?
Thank you, Dr. Linda. Yeah, I was just about to state that as well. Just something that I was thinking about when you were saying asking a question was, when you're going to come back to Fiji, how long would you have to do your bond first before you will be able to apply for the next scholarship?
2 years.
Okay.
Oh,
So you will have to serve it as soon as you reach the country, or?
Because like it depends if they give me work. Other than that, then I'll have to find, because they will not allow me to enter Australia for that 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to be working, or you just have to be in Fiji? Is that one of the
I
criteria?
think I'll be in Fiji. I have to be in Fiji because right now I even apply for work, but it depends if they give me work. I already work in the Ministry of Agriculture, but recently they advertised my post. That's the reason of me asking if if I can get a work, if I can apply for this ACR program. So that's what I was asking.
Okay. Okay. Well, in that case, then I guess you can apply for the scholarship, yes, for that. But yeah, in a nutshell, I
Okay.
guess it's a yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
thank you. Matthew, you have your hand up, Matthew.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
Just a question. I think this is the first session I've attended. I think I've missed the last one.
Okay.
So, would you like? I wanted to ask is for 2023. Is there a specific scholarship number that you guys will be offering?
Are you interested in a master's, Matthew, or a PhD?
Masters, madam.
At USP or FNU or either?
FNU.
At FNU.
Yeah.
Dr. Bakari?
I think for now, the figure that I've got is 4 masters and 1 PhD, but PhD applications are only open for staff.
Okay. Matthew, does that answer your question?
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. If people don't want to ask their questions themselves, they can put it into the chat if they want to. But this is a really small group, so please don't feel there's a silly question. You can ask us anything within reason, obviously. So we have a question in the chat from Epi. How many scholarships for USP, Joe? Sorry, Joe, you're muted. For the master's program, Joe.
The thing is that it is normally dependent on our current budget right now, so it looks very healthy. We might be looking towards 4 as well for masters.
Thank you. So also at FNU, there's the option of a master's by coursework or a master's by research, which is not available at USP. It's only master's by research at USP. Does anybody else have a question? My goodness. Oh, hello.
Yeah, sorry, it's me again.
That's okay. That's okay.
Can you so a question to Joe? Because currently I have a supervisor here based in USQ who's supervising me on modeling of the impact of climate change on the production of taro and basilica in Fiji. Do you guys also accept like co-tutor program or like spend 2 years there? And if I need to come and do something here at this university in regards to the, like my plan is to do on APSIM model, is to include the taro and cassava model in the APSIM. So if I want to come like after the 2 years in Fiji and come back to USQ, do you guys accept co-tutor program also in USQ? I think,
Sorry, Joe, you're muted.
Sorry. Did you say ginger program?
no, co-tutor, like 2 years there for PhD, 2 years
Co-tutor.
there.
Oh, co-tutor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, but I'm not really sure. I mean, with regards to your current contract, it wouldn't allow you to go to Australia for the span of 2 years. So if you were to be accepted into the scholarship, I don't think it would work in your case, since you would, because when you come back, it will be marked with the immigration department as well.
Yeah, I'm asking like 2 years there in Fiji, so that it will be like, you know, for the 2 years that I'm serving, I'll be in Fiji.
Yeah.
And then 2 years, the rest of the 2 years, I'm talking about PhD here, and the rest of the rest of 2 years, like I have to come to USQ. So that's what I'm asking. Is that also allowed?
Oh, that's a really tricky one. In my,
Okay.
from as far as I can recall with regards to the MOU, I don't think because we would be able to allow them, because normally the location of study would be either here in Lavala campus or in Samoa if you're going to go and do your studies there.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe I can just add to that
Sure.
question. So I think so you need to be based in Fiji. That needs to be your primary location. But within the scholarships
Yeah.
and the programs, we do encourage for people to use some of their operational funding for travel to, for example, Australia to work with supervisors or partners. But this would be framed as like short-term visits to Australia. You need to be primarily based in Fiji or Samoa, and then the scholarship would allow you to go on trips to do research activities or connect with your partners. But yeah, you need to be based there
Yes.
for the entirety of the program.
Yes. That's
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Thank you. We have a question from Shamal. Can a student apply for this scholarship even if he is already on another scholarship at FNU in the PhD program? Dr. Bakari.
I think Dr. Disha is joined us.
Oh,
Probably
sorry.
he can assist me with that. Because to scholarship, I don't think you'll be allowed to you are not allowed to have to scholarship. Dr. Disha.
Are you there, Dr. Diksha?
Probably.
So I think the answer is no,
That's
can't.
fine.
But if you're already on a scholarship program. We also have a question from Brenda. I'm currently doing a bachelor's degree in environmental management at USP and will complete by the end of this year. Do I have to wait for my final GPA grades to be finalized before I apply, or can I go ahead with the application?
Can I
Joe?
answer this? Thank you.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Dr. Linda. Thank you so much, Brenda, for your question. So with regards to the question, you can apply, but then I would need to check your current GPA weights, and because if you're coming directly from bachelor's to master's, then as you know, the prerequisite to enter into the master's program directly from bachelor's would mean that your GPA would have to be 4.0 and above. But you can apply still if you have 4.0 and above. then we will check. I will check your your final grades once it's out, and then we'll confirm with you afterwards. I hope
Thank you,
that
Joe.
answers your question.
So we have, thank you, Joe. That's great. We have another question from Leonore. Is there a reason why USP prioritize soils as a research area? It's you again, Joe.
Thank you. Um, so the reason why I think as to why we are prioritizing soils in USP is because we do have a school that has been established in Samoa, and that has lecturers and qualified personnel that looks into soil. And over the years, I think we've had soils research soils, people who are interested in soils research in the past. But so far for the past 2 years that we've done the selection, we've had none that have applied, that have received funding for that. So we're really keen on to investing students into doing soils in the Pacific. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. And Leonore says that they were there 2014, 2016. Okay, we have another question from Epi. Are there any other options for research in the aquaculture field? The current option is only on sea cucumbers. Okay. Just curious, I am currently involved with giant clam culture, a previous ACR project. So I think at the moment there is not the option for aquaculture research, but I can find out for you, Epi. Thank you. Atama, do you have a question? No?
No.
No? Okay. Anybody else? Please ask questions at this stage before you start thinking about contacting supervisors. It's good to ask these questions here if you can.
Hi, Dr. Linda.
Hi.
I'm sorry, I've been asking
No. Please don't apologize.
Joe, is there any supervisor in crop modeling in USP? Crop modeling in
Sorry,
USP?
I didn't get it.
Supervisor.
Crop modeling?
Yeah.
I'm not really, as far as I'm aware, I'm not really sure. The reason is because the school was just recently merged together, so I'm not sure if we have crop modeling lectures or academics that are available. But I do know that we do have somebody that's here for value chain analysis that assists in that. But for crop, I can find out and I can get back to you if that's okay with you.
Okay, thank you, Joe. That would be good.
Thank you, Sanala.
I would also suggest to contact BaseSD, so at USP. So I do know there's a couple of researchers there working with APSIM and doing some crop modeling, but yeah, I think that would be the best channel, just to contact them and ask directly, perhaps.
Is there any email address or some way I can contact them?
Joe, can you pass on the PaceSD contact details?
Yeah, sure. I can have a look at it and then send it over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. We have a question from Luciana. Will the selection be given to those in the projects that were given in the list? For instance, I'm interested in FAW. What is FAW, Luciana? There you are. Good afternoon.
FAW fall armyworms. For fall armyworms, I'm hoping to register with USP, and I'm interested in developing like a management strategy for fall armyworms.
Oh, fall armyworms. Sorry. So, is that on the project list? Is that what you're asking? Does it have to be something from the project list? Yes, it does.
But it's not in the list like the projects that were given. And for instance, USP is particularly interested with soil, the people from soil, like. But my question is, are you guys only interested in those particular projects, or will you be able to sponsor people outside of the
So
project?
thank you. That's a good question. So the topics that have been put onto the list were nominated or suggested by the ACR project leaders. So is there a particular ACR project that you're interested in that isn't
For-
on the list, Luciana?
Not really, but I
No.
wanted to do something on crop protection.
Right. So one of the criteria of the scholarship is that the research has to align with an active ACR research project in the Pacific. So if you have a look on the ACR website and have a look to see if there is something, I'm not sure if there is or not,
Okay. Oh.
but that would be the first step.
Yes, I've seen it, and I mean, there's nothing on fall armyworms and it's like,
Okay. Does that answer your question, Luciana, or do you still want to speak
I've
with?
got
Okay.
it. Um,
Okay,
I've got it.
thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have a question? Okay, so Tama is asking how many allocations for PhDs at USP, Joe? Sorry, you're muted, Joe.
Hi, Atama. Normally we offer two or something, two every year, but it depends on the applications that we receive as well. That's one of the compounding factors that determines how many we allocate per year.
However, there is, Joe, and just correct me if I'm wrong here, there is a dedicated soils research PhD for this 2023 round.
Yeah.
Okay, good, good. Anybody else? Amelia. Amelia, yeah. Good afternoon, Amelia.
Good afternoon. I want to ask for FNU. Like I'm interested in, I'm an agriculture graduate from USP, Samoa campus, but I'm interested in doing climate change.
Mhm.
Like I've looked through the topic. I even contacted the supervisors, so they've get back at me. But I was just want to ask, like, will I be able to also, I'm a animal science
Mhm.
stream in USP, but I also want to do a social part of climate change.
Mhm.
Like, will I be eligible to do that? But I've done work as research assistant doing like study of climate change. Like I have done 2 projects on that. And I'm like going towards climate change now. Will I be eligible to do the social, like the part that you, like it's on social, for climate change? There's one on animal,
Mhm.
and then there's another topic, there's a few topic on social, the social aspects of climate change.
Yeah, I think they're eligible to apply for the scholarship, but you also need to contact the supervisor, principal supervisor for the project.
I've already contacted them.
What did they say?
Yeah, I've already sent my research intent to them.
Oh, wow.
Or did they come back to you?
They were actually, I was just here, like they were contacting me, but I haven't really replied because I was busy with my research assistant work, and they keep on contacting me to send in the research so that they have a look at it.
Good.
But I've just sent it this week. I haven't had any feedback from them yet.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
that's good.
maybe I'll make a follow-up, but maybe you can just wait for their responses also.
Okay, thank you.
Amelia,
Yes,
have you checked, sorry, Danny, have you checked your eligibility with Dr. Bakari?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Danny.
Oh, all right.
I was just gonna comment that so far from like the projects listed in the climate change topic, if you were in the, I don't know if you attended the research showcase, but there's a component within the livestock one that
Yeah,
Natalie.
I've seen that one too.
Yeah, so that perhaps that component about gender and policy in climate change is the one where you would be able to apply more social science skills. My other suggestion would be there's a couple of other projects under the social science grouping that you might be able to incorporate climate change into. So my suggestion is, yeah, climate change can be mainstreamed in a lot of topics. So don't necessarily stick to the ones under the climate change. I would suggest you can go, for example, to those social science ones and
Yeah, I'm
identify.
actually it's the social science one that I'm doing. One of those topic. I've contacted that's one. It's a perception of farmers or something like that. Like I'm
Yep,
working on that.
yep. So
climate
yeah, I think you would be able to easily mainstream some climate change research into that. But again, that needs to be discussed with the
Of
project
course.
leader. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. Like I was just asking about the eligibility since I'm an animal science student, but I do projects on climate change, mostly on the social aspects of it. Because in USP they say that I can like I attended the first question and answer, and he said that I have to go for animals since I'm an animal.
Yeah.
I think
We also have another project on livestock systems under Dr. Rayford Magiri and POASA and also Dr. Siaka Giani.
I'm actually like I didn't really like taking animal science in Samoa was not like it was. I just take it because I was stuck there for a semester. It's actually not my area of interest.
Right.
No choice, but I have to take that because it was face to face there, so I took it up. But it was not really my choice.
I would say as long as you're able to, in your application, really demonstrate that you have the foundational knowledge and experience in the topic that you're aiming to do research, then that should be like considered in the application as well. But yeah, like for example, that project with Natalie, it's on livestock and climate change, but including the social components of it. So that might be a better fit for where you are enrolled at the moment.
Yeah, I think she also get back to me with an email yesterday, I think.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, thank you.
Amelia, have you watched the replay of the showcase? Because Natalie did a presentation in that.
Not yet.
So you can do that and you can just see what the project is all about and what the topics are that are available as
Okay,
well.
thank you.
That might be helpful for you.
Yes.
Anybody else have a question? Thank you, Asanava. No? Nobody have a question? Everybody's all good today. Must have answered your questions already. Epi kindly requesting if options for aquaculture can be reviewed and more options could be given. There are many other high value species being targeted in Fiji. Thank you for that feedback, Epi. I will pass that on to the ACR RPM, Research Program Manager. Joe or Archie, do you have anything you want to say about the programs at USP or FNU? Just to encourage people to contact you if they have a question for eligibility as the first step.
I don't have any questions, but they are all free to contact me if they have
Great.
any questions regarding the scholarship.
Thank you. Joe?
Thank you, Dr. Linda. I don't have any questions from my end. The only thing I just want to say is I'm very friendly. If you're on campus here and you want to come and talk to me, feel free to come up and find me here. I'm at research office in USP campus, Lazala Upper Campus. If you feel like you want to come and see me, you can feel free to come in and see me. Otherwise, if you're afraid to come and see me, just send me an email. I will try and help you out with your eligibility. I hope that's
Thank
okay.
you, Joe. Both Joe and Archie are very approachable and very helpful and knowledgeable. So please do feel free to reach out that first step to check that you're eligible before you start writing a research intent. We don't want you to get to that stage and then find out that you're not eligible to apply. So that is absolutely the first thing to do. If there's no further questions, I think we might wrap up if people don't have any further questions to ask today. And hope that if you are planning to apply, that you will join our research proposal training session on the 23rd of August. All the details are on all the websites. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining today. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.